It's okay. You know, we walked into the pool. The pool was filled with Caucasian people having a good time. And I thought to myself, my 3 little kids, I said, y'all go in there and have a good time too. Man, my 3 kids, they dove in the pool. I'm telling you, Artie, it wasn't 6.5 seconds, no, 6 minutes and 53 seconds later, we had the whole pool to ourselves. Remember that? Kids didn't even notice it. I said, we must be special people. They was boom, gone out of there, right? Because you know the mindset? Because see, if the black people jump in the pool, some of that black might wear off. It might get on us. Right? We can't have that. Now y'all okay, stay with me now. Because y'all know how Pastor King is. Pastor King, there ain't no racist bone in me, but I still don't stop me from saying truth. The last day of school, of the black kids at our school, junior high school, this was in 78. The last day of junior high school, y'all, I'll tell you how old I am. All the black kids on the last day of our junior high school had to get escorted to the school bus because there was a mob of white kids out there waiting to throw rocks at us. And they didn't want to be loud. I was scared. It's a lot of men. My mother never did come to this either, y'all. If you know anything about George W. Norris, where the school was to where the bus thing, man, that's like, it was a mile, man, getting to the bus. So we started no running. I'm laughing now, but it wasn't funny then. And y'all, the sad about it, nobody did anything about it. Didn't do nothing. Right? Nothing. Had a friend of mine who I thought was a good friend of mine. He said, Pastor King, I love the way you speak. You're a great teacher. I want to come to your church and hear you. I said, come on, man, we cool. Right? Came to church. We, you know, because we're this will always be, to me, a multicultural church. And if it's not, I won't be here.
Amen.
So this guy I thought was my friend, he came to the church and he was worshiping with us, y'all. And I thought we was having a good time. He was having a good time. And one of my other white friends slipped and told me, he said, hey, you come here, man, let me tell you something. He said, don't trust him. I said, what you mean? That's my boy. We ain't children, I like children. He said, this is what he told me. He said, I'm friends, they call me Eddie. He said, I'm friends with Eddie, right? But he said, I wouldn't want Eddie moving in my neighborhood. I said, man, have you seen my yard? I cut my grass. He said, because if Eddie moved into my neighborhood, then the value of my house would go down. Man, I was so hurt. I think I cried on that one. I thought we were friends, man. The Jim Crow law that you guys saw in the video, all of this, we're above here and y'all down here. Where did all that stuff come from? And why is it still being perpetrated today? In the church. You call yourself a Christian. Right? Black people, we can be just as bad.
Amen.
Right? All white people didn't enslave us.
Amen.
Right? All white people don't think they're better than you.
Amen.
Right? They don't. But can you imagine? I used to hear horror stories about Mississippi, and then to have Archie and his family come to Mississippi. In my mind, I don't want to pass through no Mississippi. Don't care. I mean, I'm saying from my knowledge of the South. All the stuff I used to hear of things that were happening in the South, who would want to go down there?
Amen.
Right? My question was, where were all the Christian leaders in the white Christian leaders in the South? Where were they when all this stuff was going on? I heard, or better yet, they said in Omaha, Nebraska, there were places in Omaha, Nebraska that says white only. What is a white only? Can you imagine the water fountain here that said white and a water fountain there that said black? And you line up to the water fountain, black, white. Okay, when anybody else around you, you think I'm just standing, the black line is long. You think I'm not going to sneak from the white water fountain? this was told by relatives of mine. They said, man, you see that movie theater? Man, we couldn't go on. We couldn't. They didn't give us the fresh popcorn. We got the 3-day-old popcorn, right? And when we went to that movie theater, we couldn't sit on the floor. We had to sit in the balcony, right? What's up with that? Or better yet, when you got on the bus, and a white person was sitting there, and you were sitting down, and a white person got on the bus, and you better get up and move. That wouldn't fly today. Okay, dream with me for a minute. Okay, I'm working a 12-hour day. I'm sitting on the bus, brother, trying to get home, tired. I'm sitting on the bus, white person come on, hey, get up and move. Huh? You move, get up and move, you heard me? How long do you think that's going to go?
Not at all.
Redlining, some of y'all never even heard of redlining. Redlining is where as black people you can't live beyond certain places in the city. Right, still going on today. Y'all didn't know that.
Amen.
Right? You wonder how come all the white men, there's a lot of us in this area. You ain't gonna know, sorry. I walked into the bank out west just 2 weeks ago. I'm telling you, man, I am the most harmless guy that you'll probably ever, but I'm really seriously, I don't even like killing bugs. Well, I'll take it back. I walked into a bank out west, 9 o'clock in the morning, I had an appointment out there, and I walked into this bank, and y'all, the horror that was on that lady's face when I came in here, she thought she was gone. I said, ma'am, because I learned this. I said, ma'am, I got an appointment with the man over there. Be at peace. Relax your ass. And man, she was like, oh. But when I walk into places, I can tell when I make white people nervous. I'm walking through Baker's, I'm saying all this, but I'm trying to get me, okay, where my lawyers at? I gotta help you out. I'm walking through Baker's parking lot, all I hear was doors locked. Yes, you like doors. She's busy. But, or I've walked down the street, I've literally walked down the street and I've seen people, when they saw me coming, they crossed on the other side.
Amen.
Me and Sam sharing the same sidewalk with you. See, that's life. That's life, y'all. We know this. That's life. That's life. We know this. That's life. That's America. Still to this day. We know this. But it can't be the church. The church has to be different. See, non-Christian, racist people that don't know Jesus, both black and white, both, they're governed by a different set of rules. But how can you say you have a love of God in your heart and you talk about you don't like white people? Or a black person, or a white person talking about, Eddie's a good guy, but I can't have him live across the street with me because he's going to bring my property value down. Y'all quiet. If that didn't go over too well, if you want to find out if you are a real racist, okay, brace yourselves. If you want to find out if you really struggle with racism, this next one might get you. Y'all know what it is? Y'all know what it is? Can my black daughter marry your white son without you having a problem with it?
Yep. Yep.
See, ain't gonna be no mixing of the meats. Right? Because after all, see, if you mix that superior white with that inferior black, what's gonna happen to the kids? So that's what we're taught. Some of y'all think that I ain't coming to that church, I didn't come to church with it, but this is real. Right? If you want to know where you are, don't do this. I'm not telling you to challenge your family. As a white person, if you want to know where your family truly stand, say, guess who's coming to dinner? Y'all be it. Guess who's coming to dinner? Seriously, guess who's coming to dinner?
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Guess who's coming? And see, black people just as bad, y'all know. Don't you bring no white girl around here. Mama, I thought we was Christians. One blood, Pastor Randy service. You talking about don't bring no white girls around here. What are you saying, Mom? I love Jesus, but don't bring no white girl around here. Is that true? I know somebody, I ain't gonna call no names, who grilled her sons. You better not bring no white girls around here. All three of them are white girls. And the kids are the most beautiful kids I've ever seen in my life.
Amen.
What is wrong with, how in the world are you going to get across to people how you love God but talk about you can't stand white people as a black person? See, they just different from us. And y'all know they don't do things the way we do things. Well, that's true. There's a lot of differences, right?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Right?
Amen.
But it shouldn't have to keep us not from being in relationship with them. Right?
Right.
The Alamo wouldn't say anything. Some of y'all today, y'all scared, y'all as white people, Caucasians, y'all like black people. But you won't bring them home because you don't want to deal with your family. You don't want to deal with all that drama. You know you're going to be cut out the wheel if you bring Mr. Brown home. So what's more important? Sometimes I got to tell you, sometimes the greatest thing you can do is when you hear all this stuff going on, start challenging the people that are doing it.
Amen.
How in the world are you going to be a pastor of a church talking about you have the love of God, but secretly you're in the board meeting saying, "God, we had 3 niggas that came to church today." Did y'all see them? I saw them. Did you see them? Now if your board don't challenge you behind the scenes, then guess what? You'll never be fixed. Pastor, how can you be a pastor of a church talking that way about my African American brothers? Why would you say such a thing? Start calling them out, right? If somebody in the job would have said, "Hey, why don't you tell that young man there that we have no more job openings, where we just advertise that we're hiring people." Right? See, you know the reason why people don't say nothing? You know why people don't say nothing? You know why people don't say they won't challenge your friends, family, loved ones, boss on the job? You know why they don't say nothing? Because nobody wants to be left out. Right?
Amen.
The unfortunate part about not saying nothing is sometimes when you don't say nothing, it implies that you condone it. Right? It does. And you can't be like that. Can't be like that. Not calling yourself a Christian, you can't be. Right? And y'all, some things is flat out not right. I'm not going to let, okay, keep that. I'm not going to let the past of what ignorant people did, right, stun my wonderful relationships that I can have with people today. Without being a Caucasian person, I judge you based on the way you treat me now. You come in talking and I don't want to hear, "Why do white people do? Shut up." Well, that be my friend, right? Right? If it's not right, who's going to start speaking up against it? Who's going to tell grandmama, who's 85 years old, "Grandmama, you wrong. That's wrong." Who's going to say it? So you can't tell grandma to stop talking about niggas if you're talking about niggas. You can't tell your son that he has to have the love of God in his heart. Black mother and black father, when you're in the meeting, tell him, "Don't you bring no white boy and white girl around here." Can't do it. Because now all of a sudden, see, they smarter than what you think. And they're going to challenge you on, what does this love stuff have to do with the fact that, So, how many of y'all currently, as we sit here today, you struggle with racism? Raise your hand. Stay right where you are. This message has been a blessing. And also, we'll tell you how to get a copy of the CD/DVD for your own spiritual and relational edification. And remember these words from 2 Corinthians 5:7. For we walk by faith and not by sight.